Hello students, today I am going to take class for standard 5th, that is class 5th, and I am going to begin with the first topic, that is latitudes and longitudes. Okay, here you can see on the screen latitudes and longitudes. Here with me I have the three-dimensional picture or the model of the earth. It is called a globe. Okay, now you can see that globe resembles exactly like the earth, right? We are living on this planet Earth, and it is the third planet in the solar system. Here I have the picture of the solar system. We are the third planet, and all other planets also are along with Earth. That is, we have altogether we are 8 planets in the solar system. Sun is in the center of the solar system, and all the planets revolve around the Sun. We live on planet Earth, that comes third, and this is the only planet where there is life existing, correct? Now there is something very special things are there on the planet Earth, because there is nowhere across in the solar system we have life existing, correct? Now this exact model of the Earth, that is a globe, it shows exactly how our Earth looks like, correct? It is spherical in shape. The main advantage of handling a globe is that you can even see the rotation of the Earth, correct? How it is moving. Earth moves from west to east. Okay. Now it is slightly tilted also. Do you know why it has a slight tilt? Okay. Now this Earth rotates around an axis, that is the inclined axis. Because it is slightly tilted, axis also is a tilted imaginary line. Nobody has drawn any axis or a line through the center of the Earth. Okay. Suppose example, if you take any spherical object or a bangle or a ball, if you spin it right fast, okay, there is going to be an imaginary line what you can see as an axis. That exactly happens. Okay, that is an axis of the Earth. Now around that axis we are rotating continuously. Now on this model of the Earth, you can see that there is a blue dominant color, correct? More color is bluish, and there are some patches of colorful patches here, right? These all are land masses, what we call it as continents. And this blue color, this is our water body. These are oceans on the Earth. You can see here the picture of the Earth taken from this space. Now today we know the spherical shape of the Earth through the satellite images. From the moon also the picture of the Earth is taken. That's why blue always appears more, because more of the Earth is covered with oceans or water bodies. Along with these, you will be able to see also the black lines. Okay. Now you can see here, if I am showing you this picture, okay, you will be able to see some black lines drawn across this globe. Correct? There are black vertical lines as well as horizontal line drawn. Now this makes a perfect grid. You see here the picture. This is how the horizontal lines are. Here they are black in color. These are the vertical lines. Okay. Now they make a perfect grid. A network of vertical and horizontal line makes a perfect grid. And this exactly grid is imposed on this globe. Okay. Now why this grid is done? Why do you think these black lines are there everywhere? Now these black lines are very, very important, because they give us exact location of a place on the Earth. If you are entering into the thick forest, into some desert, if you don't know, today you know, if you are with your GPS, you can get your location with something called as latitude and longitude. These horizontal lines which are drawn on the globe, they are called latitudes, and the vertical lines are called as longitudes. Now no one has gone and drawn this on the Earth. They are imaginary lines. This is very important, students. Okay, they are imaginary lines which are drawn on a globe, and they give you, what is the purpose of drawing this line? They give you exact location of a place. Okay, whether you are into the northern hemisphere, whether you are in the southern hemisphere, or you are more towards east or west. Now example, I'll show you. This is the largest landmass on the Earth, Asia, and India is located within Asia, correct? Here is our location. Now if you want to know where is India located, you can speak in terms of northern hemisphere, southern hemisphere. We are above the equator, one important latitude. I'm going to discuss this. I'm going to talk about this. And we are more towards eastern hemisphere. Okay, so this is how the location you can make out, you can find out your location where you live on the earth with the help of this network of these lines called latitudes and longitudes. Okay, so let's see now how these latitudes are drawn. First, I am going to talk about latitudes. Okay, I begin my topic with latitudes first. Now, latitudes are nothing but they are the horizontal lines and they run throughout. Okay, now you can see here the shape of the earth. It is not exact sphere. Earth has slightly, it is bulging near the equator. Now this is the main latitude which is drawn. Okay, they are the imaginary lines. Latitudes are the imaginary lines drawn on the earth which move from east-west of the earth. Okay, since we have bulge near the equator, the center line, that is the main latitude, okay, that has been named as equator. Equator is what? Equator passes through the center of the earth. If you slice this earth into two parts, okay, equator is going to divide earth into two equal halves. If I cut a section through the center, passing through the center, so equator is the main latitude, and with it is valued as 0 degrees, and with this reference point as equator, all other latitudes are drawn on the earth. Okay, now see. So from it starts with 0 degree latitude, that is the equator, and it moves up towards the northern side. It moves up towards the northern side, and slightly they move up. There are altogether 90 latitudes drawn in the northern hemisphere and 90 latitudes drawn towards the south pole. These are altogether in the southern hemisphere. So what are the main characteristics of the latitudes? They run parallel to each other. They never join at any point. And because of this shape of the earth bulging near the equator becomes the largest or the longest latitude on the earth. And finally, the size of this latitude goes on decreasing as we move towards the northern part and towards the southern part. Okay, and finally, near the two poles, north and the south pole, they exist in the form of a small point. Is it clear? Okay, so we have North Pole, we have South Pole. Equator divides the earth into two hemispheres, Northern Hemisphere, the Southern Hemisphere, correct? And the size of these latitudes, it goes on decreasing. Okay, but the value keeps on increasing. So if I'm taking 0 degree, you can have a look here. Okay, 0 degree is the main equator latitude. Now there are 90 latitudes in the northern hemisphere, 90 in the southern hemisphere. How many it is now total? 90 plus 91, 80 latitudes we have plus 0 degree equator. It makes 181 latitudes on the earth, out of which 0 degree is the very important latitude. It is the reference latitude for all other latitudes. Now if I want to see, if I am somewhere in the northern hemisphere, right, like in India, now I know this is my 0 degree equator. India is totally into the northern hemisphere, correct? This is how latitude helps us, correct? So we are totally into the northern hemisphere. Now if I want the main latitude, now every latitude we won't be naming, right, whenever we are giving the location. So right from 1 degree, 2 degree, 3 degree, 4 degree, north and south, they are named like this. Why north and south? If it is above the equator, it is going to be labeled as north. If it is towards south, it is going to be labeled as south. That is N and S. You know it is northern hemisphere, you know it is southern hemisphere, right? So that there are altogether main latitudes which are very, very important, which are just prominent latitudes for the reference point. And these main latitudes are, okay, have a look at this. This is 23.5 degrees north, which is called as Tropic of Cancer in the northern hemisphere. We have one more important latitude called Arctic Circle, 66.5 degrees north. Okay, and the last latitude, okay, which is in the form of a point, is North Pole, that is 90 degrees north. So we have covered all 90s. Which are the main latitudes? Equator, Tropic of Cancer, Arctic Circle and North Pole towards the north. Now we come down towards below 0 degree. We are in the southern hemisphere, so obviously here the value will run in terms of south. So we have the main latitude here in the south as the main, that is Tropic of Capricorn, 23.5 degrees south. Then I have Antarctic Circle, 66.5 degrees south, and the last latitude in the form of point in the southern hemisphere is 90 degrees south. These are our main latitudes. Okay, so this is how the latitude look like. Okay, so today we have seen that Earth is the third planet in the solar system from the Sun. This is the only planet where life exists. We have been living on this Earth. Along with us, plants grow, animals live. Okay, and all environment flourish on the planet Earth. It is spherical in shape. Now Earth has been divided as blue color, and the land masses, what we call as continents and oceans. Along with this, on a globe there are black lines drawn, which are called latitudes and longitude, which we call geographically as grid. And grids, why they are drawn? Why it is important? Because they give us location of a place, okay, on the Earth's surface. Whether you are towards east, whether you are towards west, whether you are in north or south. And we have also learned the characteristics of latitudes and what are like longitudes. Okay, characteristic. In the next class, I am going to explain about the longitudes in detail. Those are the vertical lines. Okay students, this is all for the day. Thank you.